So good morning to one and all present over here. So let me see our fourth unit, which is to be again optical pressure and temperature sensors. Okay. So we can split off into three different sensors. One to be the optical sensor, other one to be the pressure sensor, and other one to be the temperature sensor. So the first thing when you are seeing about an optical sensor, the first thing we are going to see about an photoelectric transducer. So actually this transducer which converts the light energy into electrical energy, it is made up of semiconductor material. Okay, the photoelectric transducer which uses the photosensitive element which ejects the electrons when the beam of light absorbs through it. Okay, and similarly when you are saying about the discharges of electrons which varies the property of the photosensitive element, whereas hence the current induces in the devices. So the magnitude of the current is equal to the total light absorbed by the photosensitive element. Okay, so actually this is the diagram which shows the scheme of the semiconductor material. So what it does, actually it will have a radiation, we'll have a semiconductor material and we can able to have an output over on it. Okay, so the photoelectric transducer which absorbs the radiation of light which falls on the semiconductor material. So the absorption of light will energize the electrons of the material and hence electrons will start moving over on it. The mobility of electrons produces one of the three effects. One to be the resistance of the material changes, the second one to be the output current of the semiconductor changes, and third one to be the output voltage of the semiconductor changes. Okay, so when we are saying about an classification, actually we'll have a three different classification. One to be the photoconductive cell, and second one to be the photoemissive cell, and third one to be the photovoltaic cell. Okay, the first thing we are going to see about an photoemissive cells, or it can be otherwise named as an photoresistive. Actually, it is also commonly known as an phototube. So actually, it uses the photoelectric effects in the phenomenon, whereby we have a light sensitive surfaces which gives off electrons when struck by the light. So it's sometimes called as photocells or electric eyes we have heard. Actually, the photoemissive cell which converts the photons into electric energy. It consists of the anode rod and the cathode plate. The anode and cathode are coated with the photoemissive material called cesium antimony. So this is the diagram which shows about an photoemissive light. Actually, the phototube which consists of a vacuum tube housed in a glass or quartz which containing two electrodes. One to be named as an cathode, other one to be named as an anode. So at the cathode, we'll have a curved surface, whereas an anode will have a slender rod. So the cathode is made up of a photoemissive material. So that what will happen now, when light strikes the cathode, it emits electrons. Okay, so thing is to be that, so when the radiation of light fall on cathode plates, so what will happen now? The cathode starts flowing from anode to cathode. Both the anode and the cathode are sealed in a closed opaque evacuated tube. When the radiation of light fall on the sealed tube, the electron starts emitting from the cathode and move towards the anode. Whereas the anode is kept to the positive potential. The photoelectric current which starts flowing through the anode. The magnitude of the current which is directly proportional to the intensity of light which passes through over on it. Okay, so what will happen Abhina? So we'll have a fun vacuum type cell, gas filled cell. So when you are saying about the advantages, actually so the photoemissive cells which are of two different types, one to be named as a vacuum type cell and other one to be the gas filled cell. So in the case of vacuum type cell, the current starts immediately after the light is incident and it is proportional to the intensity of incident light. So hence this cell is used for photometry and it is used in television. Whereas in the case of a gas filled cell, the current is somewhat larger and it is not proportional to the intensity of light. Hence this type of cell is more suitable in cinematography and in the recording and the reproduction of sound. Whereas in the case of an advantages, actually the emission is instantaneous. The maximum current will be proportional to the intensity of radiation and will have a high sensitivity. Whereas in the case of a disadvantage, actually it generates extremely small current. Direct power supply will be required for maintaining potential and they are expensive. So this is about an photoemissive cells. So photoemissive cells which are to be named as an photo uh, resistive cells. Okay. The next thing what you have to see about it, Abdina, photoconductive cell. The photoconductive cell which converts the light energy into an electric current. So it uses the semiconductor material like cadmium selenide, germanium, selenium as a photosensing element. The photoconductive cell is a two-terminal semiconductor device whose two-terminal distance will vary with the intensity of the incident light. So that is, it is frequently called as a photoresistive device. When a beam of light falls on semiconductor material, their conductivity increases and the material works like a closed switch. The current starts flowing into the material and deflects the pointer of the meter. So this is the diagrammatic representations of the photoconductive cell. Actually, this is the photoconductive material is converting in form of photoconductive switch by help of an ceramic base over on it. So for safety purpose, so we'll have a glass window which is also covered above it. The photocell is a combined form of conductive switch and electric source. Okay, so it is used in automatic street light, which is being off in morning and on and during night period. According to the diagram, so what we can say it of Abina, when photoconductive got sufficient sunlight, then its conductivity being increased during this period and it works like a closed switch. So for this reason, relay is being charged and this non-contact is being open. So light will get closed. In night, the period will not got sunlight, so conductivity will less. So contact will also open. Relay being discharged and the contact is closed so tightly, so light being on. The photovoltaic cell is of the type of active transducer. The current starts flowing into the photovoltaic cell when the load is connected. The silicon and selenium are used as semiconductor material. And the semiconductor material absorbs heat. The free electrons of the material starts moving. So this phenomenon is known as an photovoltaic effect. The movements of the electrons which develop the current in the cell, and the current is known as an photoelectric current. Okay, so this is the construction which is begun. This is the diagrammatic representations of an photovoltaic cell. Actually, it is comprised of many layers of materials. The most important layer is the specifically treated semiconductor material. So we'll have two distinct layers, one to be the P-type and N-type, which converts sun's energy into useful electricity through a process called photovoltaic effect. So on either side of semiconductor is the layer of conducting material which collects the electrically produced. Note that the back side or shaded side of the cell can afford to be completely covered in the conductor, whereas the front or illuminated side must use the conductor sparingly to avoid blocking too much of the sun's radiation from reaching the semiconductor. The final layer, which is applied only to the illuminated side of the cell, is anti-reflection coating. Since all the semiconductors are naturally reflective, so the reflection loss can be significant. Okay, so we'll have the these are all the three different types of an photo cell. So we'll have the next topic is about an light dependent resistor, that is to be an LDR. So which is also called as an photoresistor or a cadmium sulfide cell. So it is also called as a photoconductor. It is basically a photocell that works on the principles of photoconductivity. The passive component is basically a resistor whose resistance values decreases when the intensity of light increases. So this optoelectronic device is mostly used in light varying sensor circuit, and then light and dark activated switching circuit. Some of its applications includes camera light meters, street lights, clock radios, light beam alarms, reflective smoke alarms, and outdoor clocks. Okay, so this is about an basic structure on LDR. So this is about an symbol over on it. Okay, so when you are saying about an, so you have a snake-like track which is shown below is the cadmium sulfide film, which also passes through the slides. So on the top and bottom are metal films which are connected to the terminal leads. It is designed in such a way as to provide maximum possible contact area with the two metal films. The structure is housed in a clear plastic or resin case to provide free access to external light. So the main component for the construction of LDR is to be the cadmium sulfide, which is used as a photoconductor, and it contains no or very few electrons when not illuminated. So in the absence of light, it is designed to have a high resistance in the range of megaohms. As soon as light falls on the sensors, the electrons are liberated and the conductivity of the material increases. When the light intensity exceeds certain frequency, the photons absorbed by semiconductor give band electrons the energy required to jump into the conduction band. This causes the free electrons or holes to conduct electricity and thus dropping the resistance dramatically. So the equation which shows the relation between resistance and illuminations, that can be given as an R is equivalent to A into E exponential of A. So where E stands for an illumination, R stands for an resistance, where capital A and small a stands for an constants over on it. Okay. So when you are saying about tan types, we have a intrinsic and extrinsic. When you are saying about the advantage, the LDRs are cheap and readily available in many sizes and shapes. Practical LDRs are available in variety of sizes and package types. the most popular size having a phase diameter roughly 10 mm. They need very small power and voltage for its operations. Whereas in the case of a disadvantage, actually it is highly inaccurate with a response time of about tens or hundreds of milliseconds. So classifications, so when you are saying about it, we have an intrinsic photoresistors. Actually, these resistors are to be an undoped semiconductor materials, which include silicon or germanium. So when the photons falls on the LDR, if they excite electrons, moving them from the valence band to the conduction band, as a result, these electrons are free to conduct electricity. The more the light that falls on the device, the more electrons are liberated and greater the level of conductivity, and this results in a lower level of resistance. Whereas in the case of an extrinsic photoresistors, actually they are manufactured from semiconductors of materials doped with impurities. So these devices are doped with impurities, and these impurities create the new energy band above the valence band. These bands are filled with electrons, hence this decreases the band gap and small amount of energy is required in moving them. These resistors are mainly used for long wavelength. So when you are saying about an applications, so mainly it is used for automatic street light circuit, simple fire alarm circuit, light activated switch circuit, and then automatic LED emergency light, and then we'll have a night security light. Okay, so by that this class is over. So we can see in the next class. Thank you all.